After being closed for over a year and a half, Canada's Wonderland finally reopened its gates on July 5th. Guests returning to the park will find that there have been quite a few changes since their last visit in 2019, including new attractions, new food and merchandise offerings, and of course, new safety policies for COVID-19. Good day everyone, and welcome to another episode of Theme Park Parlay, here on Adventures with Parker. In today's episode, we're going to look at everything that's new at Canada's Wonderland for the 2021 season. There's a lot to cover, so without any further ado, let's talk theme parks! Before we begin, I just quickly wanted to point out that this video is divided into chapters, so if you're looking for something specific, feel free to jump to whatever section you need. Let's start off by going over all of the policies, procedures, and other changes we're seeing around the park surrounding COVID-19. Keep in mind that although what I'm about to say was true during my visit, things are subject to change as Ontario moves into stage 3 of its reopening plan and beyond. For the most recent updates, be sure to check out the park's website, and I'll also have a pinned comment on this video that I'll update as new information becomes available. In order to enter the park, you need to have both a valid ticket or season's pass and a reservation. These reservations are designed to 1. Ensure that the park's capacity doesn't exceed the limit set by the province, and 2. To keep guest flow through the front gates evenly spread throughout the day. Making these reservations are super easy. Just go onto the park's website or app, select reservations under tickets and passes, and pick the date and time you want to visit. Keep in mind that there are separate reservation systems depending on whether you want to visit the main park and Splashworks or the dry park only. You can have up to 2 reservations at any given time. Masks are required in queues, on rides, inside all buildings, and in any space where 2 meters of social distance cannot be maintained. However, if you're just walking around the midway and no other guests are nearby, you are able to take your mask off for those periods. Speaking of social distancing, yellow markers have been placed in all of the queues to help you maintain 2 meters of space, and guys, please respect that. We're not quite out of the woods with this pandemic yet, especially with these variants, so let's do our best to continue following all of the rules for just a little bit longer so we can beat this thing once and for all. Likewise, certain paths and bridges around the park have two-way traffic and signs directing you to keep right. Social distancing is also being enforced on all of the rides, and you'll typically see that members of the same party will be seated in the same row, while every other row will be left empty. Some attractions that cannot accommodate appropriate social distancing have remained closed, including Wonder Mountain's Guardian and Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. You may also find that some shops and restaurants are closed on certain days, and that's just due to a combination of social distancing requirements and staffing shortages. Finally, all rides and attractions get sanitized about once every hour, so if you see a bunch of empty trains go by on a roller coaster, don't worry, the ride isn't down, they're just cycling them through so the sanitizer can dry. Next, let's talk about new attractions. At the end of 2019, Canada's Wonderland announced 2 new additions for the 2020 season: Beagle Brigade Airfield, a Zamperla Flying Tigers ride, and Mountain Bay Cliffs, a cliff jumping experience in Splashworks where you can leap from heights of 3, 5, or 7.5 meters and into the pool of water below. Since the park obviously didn't get to open last year, these additions are officially joining the park's roster now in 2021. I did get to see Beagle Brigade Airfield on my last visit, and it looks very, very cute. And I got a glimpse of Mountain Bay Cliffs while riding Behemoth, and it looks fantastic, and that'll be opening along with Splashworks this week. With 2021 comes a few new dining options, including the all-new Sugar and Spice pastry shop. This is a little extension to the sweet shop, where International Tippery used to be. Here you'll find a selection of pastries and baked goods like cupcakes, macaroons, and cake pops. I did try one of the cake pops for myself, and it was delicious. As far as theme park food goes, it was reasonably priced too. Because of COVID, the marketplace can't do their usual buffet this year, but the restaurant will instead operate like a normal restaurant and serve various international dishes. The mess hall, which just opened last year along with Frontier Canada, has a whole new menu for 2021 and will be serving specialty poutines. I got to try the sweet potato fried poutine and it was so good. I hear they have a butter chicken poutine as well, so I'll have to try that on one of my next visits. One notable new menu item is the hickory maple chipotle barbecue chicken tenders, which you can get at Roadside Chicken. These look absolutely delicious, and it's even on the dining plan, so I will definitely have to try this when I'm at the park again. Backlot Cafe, which has different stations serving a variety of international cuisines, has added a Middle Eastern menu this year. And to round it all off, the park is introducing its own version of the Impossible Burger and a new specialty craft beer, bringing the number of park-exclusive craft beer offerings up to 4. For those of you who love to do a bit of shopping in the park, Wonderland has some new merchandise offerings for you in 2021. Replacing Fun Shop is a brand new gift shop called Jester's Courtyard. Here you can find various toys and souvenirs like these adorable little plushies, and interestingly, lots of superhero related stuff, including items related to the Hulk, Batman, Iron Man, and others. In case you weren't aware, the park is celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. To celebrate, All the Rage is being converted into a new 40th anniversary store that will sell 40th anniversary pins, merch, and other souvenirs, and display exhibits about the park's history. This shop wasn't quite ready when I visited, but I will definitely be buying a few things from here later this season. The Canada's Wonderland store also has some cool new items, like these Ride mascot plushies. Oh, so cute. You won't see any indoor shows this year because of the pandemic, but there are still plenty of outdoor live entertainment offerings around the park. Classics like the Victoria Falls High Divers, Flying Frontenacs, and Snoopy's Symphony of Water are returning this year, and Wolf Jocks will once again hit the International Showplace stage every day until Labor Day. In Planet Snoopy, Charlie Brown's Pirate Adventure and the Peanuts Block Party are both returning in 2021, but will now be performed at the new Planet Snoopy Gazebo by Beagle Brigade Airfield. Other than that, you'll probably notice a few general updates around the park. The buildings in Planet Snoopy have all received a fresh coat of paint, and the facade of Boo Blasters has some new ghosties all over the front of it. Both Swan Lake and the mighty Canadian Mindbuster have received a bit of retracking over the off-season too. Jumping over to Medieval Fair, Riptide has undergone a small refurbishment and has received some all-new seat backings. As I mentioned earlier, the park is celebrating their 40th anniversary this year, and the park will be celebrating with 40th anniversary decor around the park and the new 40th anniversary store. And finally, the park has confirmed that Halloween Haunt and Winterfest are both planned to go ahead this year. However, the park is still figuring out details regarding capacity and other COVID-related changes that might be necessary, but still, this is great news, and honestly, it would be nice to attend even a stripped-down version of these events after not having them at all last year. Alright my friends, that is everything new at Canada's Wonderland for the 2021 season. If you haven't seen it already, be sure to go back and check out my latest vlog from my visit to the park for the first weekend of the season. You'll be able to see a lot of the additions I talked about in this video, and I mean, it's just a fun video in general. I am so happy with how it turned out, and yeah, it was just a great visit overall. If you would like to see more theme park discussion videos and vlogs from my theme park, travel, local, and outdoor adventures, consider subscribing. I'm trying to post videos every week or two, and I have some really exciting things planned for the rest of the summer that you don't want to miss. And yes, that includes more Canada's Wonderland content. Also, be sure to follow me on social media. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ADVParker, where I post photos from all of my adventures and news from the latest happenings in the theme park and travel industry. Once again, thank you so much for joining, and as always, the adventures are calling. Bye!